Everybody, this is Rebecca M. Carroll. And does your financial aid package for your students stink? It is not uncommon to all of a sudden be so excited about admissions, but yet the financial aid is coming in and it's really not coming in. When you look at the gory details, it ends up that what's happening is that the majority of it is loans. And that is not something you want to deal with. So stay tuned, and I'm going to talk about three different things that you can do. First off, I want you to pause and actually wait for all of the packages to come in. And if you have only applied, if your student has only applied to a couple schools, I want you to rethink because applications are still open and there are some schools with rolling admissions. Yes, they do have some priority deadlines, but generally the priority deadline isn't until the end of this month or it's February 14th. So let's really look at, do I need to suggest to my student that they apply to more schools? Do I pause and wait for all the packages to come in and really review them? The other thing that's super helpful for kids because they end up getting very stuck on one school. So it is beneficial to actually start revisiting those other schools, especially schools that have given you more scholarship money and less loans. Those are the ones that you really want to go and do a meaningful visit. And on that visit, it's important to meet the department heads. And you can arrange that by calling ahead, calling to admissions, and asking what is the process when I visit to be able to meet with the department heads. I have had students be so focused on one school, and the minute they went to another school and met a department head, they really, really liked the person. They saw some really great opportunities and they completely changed their mind, which made it much more affordable for the parents. So it's important for you to help your student gather that information. And one of the ways to do it is to really start revisiting as an accepted senior and take advantage of those things. Sometimes they actually have a time to visit, but other times you can always call ahead and say, look, this is the only time that my student can go. And these are the things that we would like to have happen while we're there. How do we make this happen? Schools are very, very open to that. And as long as you do give them more than 2 weeks notice, they actually are very accommodating. It's surprising how well a school, accommodates a student, and it's important to take advantage of that. The third thing that I would do is really start looking at the idea of potentially a gap year. And can we revisit a year that's meaningful, that gives your student enough time to rework their scores, look at potentially doing a fantastic gap year. So a gap year is not to create a situation where your students are at home doing nothing or just working. It's a combination, and it doesn't mean that you have to go away because there are a ton of opportunities in every single area. You would be surprised. AmeriCorps, for example, is one of the really good programs to be able to do a gap year that have several jobs available in different areas of the country. And I would encourage you to do that because they give a stipend as well as they give money for college. So if you complete your job, and it's usually a set job for a set amount of time, they actually contribute about $6,000 towards your schooling, wherever you decide to go. So that's something to look into. Another thing is ROTC. People do not understand how amazing the opportunities are. So if you happen to be accepted at a school, your student is accepted at a school, they're fairly athletic, they're fairly disciplined, you might want to reach out to the ROTC enrollment officer, and see what opportunities are there at the specific college. That is one way that I've had a lot of students who really wanted to go to a certain school and did not have a great financial aid package. they were able to receive more money, and they actually love ROTC way more than they thought they would. Many of them are making a career out of it. So it's really something to look into. So again, you're going to be pausing, getting all the financial aid packages together, really looking at which ones give the most money in scholarships. Two, you're going to create a situation where you're actually visiting colleges that you've been accepted at and in a more meaningful way, connecting with the directors, the heads of the departments, seeing what opportunities are there and potentially changing your mind if there are more opportunities at another school that is giving you more money. Three, you can appeal. Four, you can go for a gap year that's meaningful. Five, you can end up looking into ROTC. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions about your financial aid packages, we do a free consultation. Please take advantage of that. Please do. And if you have younger students, let's start them earlier. Let's be looking at what do I need to do in my junior year? And we'll be talking about that in a couple of days. Thank you.